Our first official live stream of the 2022 raffle plane. This is, we are here, man, you guys, I'm nervous. This is the first one. I'm Abby Austin. I'm the executive director of the Alaska Airmen. We'll start there. We're here in Yakima, Washington at the CubCrafters facility, and we are participating in a Builder Assist program. You guys may know that this is the first time we've ever done an experimental aircraft. And the FAA requires that the owners of the aircraft build 51% of the plane. So the Alaska Airmen Association, as the owners, are down here participating in that process. I've got Zach Davidson here, who is our team captain, let's call him, while we're here at CubCrafters. I've got Will Day here. He's our operations coordinator. And we've been here for the week participating in this Builder Assist program. What that is CubCrafters has a really experienced, amazing team of people that guides us through the process. Hopefully you've been seeing it on social media. We've been injecting resin to carbon fiber molds. We've been coping tubes in the fab shop. We've been running CNC machines. It's been an amazing process. And I really got to shout out to your team, Zach. They're incredible. A bunch of guys, really knowledgeable guys who are so generous with their time and their skills to guide us through this process. So we're looking forward to telling you more all about it. That's what we're here for. But I want to remind everybody to buy raffle tickets. It's only 2 o'clock in Alaska, so the phone lines are open. You can call us at 907-245-1251. Those raffle tickets are $65 for one, $300 for five, or $10 for $550. There's a ton of other great prizes this year. Please go on our website and check it out. For example, you can win 2 round-trip tickets to anywhere Alaska Airlines flies. You can win a set of 31-inch bush wheels. You can even win a private glacier tour in a vintage DC-3. There is some awesome stuff this year. So please go on our website, check all that stuff out, and buy tickets. And then I want everybody to remember those tickets support the cause, right? The Alaska Airmen Association is a nonprofit. This is the largest general aviation fundraiser probably in the world, certainly in the U.S. So every ticket you buy supports our scholarship program, supports our advocacy, supports this NextGen team that you're about to meet being here to build this airplane. So please buy those tickets. So speaking of the NextGen team of builders, I'm going to turn it over to Will, and he's going to introduce you to our NextGen build team.
Great. Thanks, Abby. My name is Will. I'm with the Alaska Airmen Association. And I'm just going to take a second before we get to introducing everybody here. If you could take a look down here, camera folks. This is really awesome. So Alaska Airlines went above and beyond, and they sponsored the flight for all of our team here, especially the NextGen crew. So we just want to take a moment and say thank you for that. It's pretty incredible to get us all the way from Anchorage down to Yakima. So on that note, let's turn this way, and I'm going to introduce some folks here. So come on over, guys. All right. So first here we have Adam Wood. Adam, would you tell the folks here about yourself and what you're doing?
So my name is Adam Wood. I teach metal shop class at East Anchorage High School, and tremendous opportunity to come down and see all of the aviation manufacturing that's involved, and just taking some of the experience that I'm gaining here back to the students back at my home school. So it's been a wonderful experience. It's amazing.
Great. Dominic?
I'm Dominic Junta. I work with Anchorage School District with their advanced manufacturing team, and it's great to see the CNC machines and all of this advanced manufacturing put to use in manufacturing here in the U.S. It's been really a cool experience.
Tim?
My name is Timothy Rogers, aviation maintenance teacher over at King Tech High School. Lots of things to bring back, especially to the students, the technical knowledge, but also the excitement of aviation. And thirdly, everybody I've interacted that works for sorry, I'm nervous a little bit here. Every one of them came out of a technical school, and it's incredible what opportunities open up for these students if they continue their education in that.
Yeah, I just want to take a second and acknowledge what Tim said. It's been really incredible. The shop is super organized. It's very obvious that everybody who's working in this space cares about what they're doing. They love their jobs, which has been a lot of fun to see. So that's something that I think these folks are going to share with our kids back home. So before we move on, I just want to ask you guys what your favorite moment has been so far.
Oh man, narrowing it down to one experience is really difficult. I think just the big picture of watching parts come in, flat sheet of metal, or just piece of round tube at length, and just watching the whole experience of cutting, you know, on CNC machines or manually, and watching it become an airplane by the end of the project has just been amazing. So there's so many favorite moments, but that's been one of the really cool things to watch. So.
Yeah, I think my favorite moments have been the pipe and tubing that we were working on, cutting these little pieces out and then putting them all together to make an elevator. It starts out as just straight rods and then comes in to actually make a product or part. It's really cool.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was the same as from bare product all the way to a finished product, but every time I go to another station it just gets better and better, so I have a favorite one every time. So whether it's working with the composites, or today we got to interact with the fuselage, so it's just every day it gets better, all of them.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate your time. Okay, so we're going to hop back in here. I'm going to introduce Zach one more time. He's going to talk about what you are all probably waiting for, which is the beautiful airplane behind me. So this is not the aircraft. We're still in the process of building that aircraft, and will be through early spring. But this is a specimen that's close to what the final product will look like. So Zach, would you mind talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so what's behind us is an FX-3, which is the exact plane you guys are building. So in about 3.5, 4 months, this is what you'll have. Working with what you're working at now, it doesn't look like it yet, but it hasn't hit our assembly line. So all the parts you guys are going to make will be allocated, set aside with job numbers that will actually be on the plane you guys are getting. It's part of the rule. We have to abide by it. So all the parts you guys work on actually become on the plane that you actually built. So it's kind of cool. Specifically, the FX-3 is probably the best all-around plane we have for cruise speed, takeoff, payload. It's a really great plane. It has a Lycoming 363, fuel injected, 186 horse, and you can either get an 80 or 83 inch Trailblazer constant speed prop with it. You can tell it's got off-road shocks, Acme's obviously, 31 inch bush wheels, 3x3 extended gear, Behringer wheels and brakes. So it's definitely a backcountry plane for sure.
Let me hop in for a second.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just wanted to interrupt and say, if you guys have questions, please, by all means, type those into the comment box. The folks holding the cameras are just going to watch. If they see those questions pop up, you guys just interrupt us. That's fine. So let's do a quick walk around and talk about what the aircraft is capable of.
Sure. So it has our newest iteration of flaps and ailerons. We call it the G series. It's actually a flying control surface. So it's proud of the wing here, which makes your aileron input a lot lighter. It has about 850 to 950 pounds of payload, depending how you equip it. It can take off in under 100 feet, land in less than 150 feet, and you can cruise at 130 miles an hour. Or you can loiter around at 50 if you want.
Wow. Yeah.
So it has the full range. This one is actually equipped with one of our safety features we can put in the plane, which is a BRS ballistic recovery system, like you get standard in a Cirrus. We actually have it in a Cub if you want.
So you're talking about a parachute, basically.
A parachute, yes.
Wow. Okay.
This plane's actually going to go to Alaska as well. The gentleman that bought this is out of Colorado. He bought floats, and a dream adventure for him is to go float flying up in Alaska. So that'll be coming up your guys' way before too long.
That's awesome. Let's walk around the back and make our way over to that instrument panel.
Sure. Yeah, so there's the DRS in there.
So you're talking about this in here.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So guys, if you're tuning in here, this system here is that parachute. So does it come out of the fabric?
Yeah, it'll shoot straight out the fabric up the top. It has straps that run up there that attach there. This is the rocket that shoots it out, and then it comes off the top.
Wow.
So this is the chute, and the rocket gets pulled out, and it's attached up to the airframe up here.
Okay. Okay, what do we have here, Zach?
So it's a full Garmin suite. This one is IFR equipped. So it has a GNC 355 Garmin Navcom. You have a G5 backup attitude indicator. And this is a 2-comm radio system, so you have dual comm. It's full IFR. It's not IFR certified, but it's IFR capable. You have a 305 autopilot head. That's actually a really, really good autopilot. It's very intuitive, very stable, even in some rough air. Something that's different with the FX-3 is this stick. It's got a higher position that's canted for much longer flights, so you can rest your arm better and not be fighting it. It's real super comfortable.
Anything else interesting about the cockpit in here we should tell folks?
So most Cubs that are out there have heel brakes.
Yep.
We have all toe brakes, which ends up being a little bit more friendly for people that haven't flown heel brakes their whole life. You get your choice of seats. I believe this one's leather. Yeah, this has our leather seats, Organero or our own. 2 sticks. You can remove the rear stick and cover it up if you got someone in the back that you don't want to be there, messing with your control surfaces. The rear seat is removable to give you more baggage access area. It carries 40 gallons of usable, 44 total of fuel. You'll burn 6-7 gallons an hour depending how you fly. 75% power, you'll burn 8 and cruise at 120 miles an hour.
Wow. And your flap handle's up top there?
Flap handle's up here instead of down below. Typical, it's down here by your left leg, and you gotta reach down. It's a lot safer that you don't have to reach down and lose your sight.
Yep. Looks like standard Cub controls on the left there.
Yep, standard.
That's nice.
Your constant speed prop and your mixture. This does have rear seat heat, so up in Alaska, you'll really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You have heat up here and heat in the front. So that's something that's really different with typical Cubs. You're cold. This one will get you too hot. If anything, you'll have to turn the heat off.
Speaking of heat, is it carbureted or is it fuel injected?
Fuel injected.
It is, okay.
So no carb ice.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
And it's dual electronic ignition as well, so no magneto.
Interesting. Okay.
Light speed ignition.
All right, we had a question from one of our viewers, is how many have you made per year? This is one of our viewers from Houston, Texas.
So we put out about 100 airframes a year, 36 kits, 3 a month, and about 65 down our production line. We've done 136 FX-3s that have certified now, and we're over 1,000 aircraft total.
What size is the engine?
The engine's a 363, 186 horse. Lycoming.
We have another question. What is the covering?
The covering, it's Stitz poly. So we use the whole Stitz process to cover the aircraft.
And this might be a question for Abby. We've got a question from one of our Canadian friends. Are Canadians still allowed to buy raffle tickets and be part of this raffle?
Yes, international ticket buyers are allowed, so everybody buy.
Yeah, great question, guys. What else you got? Feel free, type them away.
Can you talk a little bit about empty weight and useful load?
Yeah, the empty weight, depending how it's equipped. With the BRS, it's going to be a little heavier. It'll be close to 1,200 pounds, but it's a 2,000 pound gross weight, so you have an 800 pound useful still.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So 200 pounds of fuel, 200 pound guys,
Yeah.
and 200 pounds of baggage.
So the one we're building will have about 1,000 useful load then without that system?
It'll be about 50 to 60 pounds more.
Okay.
If you guys don't do the IFR panel, you'll have close to 900 pounds,
Okay, great,
850 or so.
Okay.
great.
And then we had another question of how much are the tickets?
Yeah.
Tickets are, let me just step in here. Tickets are 65 for 1, 5 for 300, or 10 for 550. So the more you buy, the better the price. So buy tickets.
And for those of you guys just tuning in now, again, those tickets go towards aviation in Alaska. So you're not just buying a Cub, you're not increasing your chances of winning the Cub, you're also contributing to the cause. So yeah, thanks so much, guys.
I should reiterate, you must call to buy tickets. That's part of the gaming regulations in the state of Alaska. So you can call us regular business hours 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, 907-245-1251. And it's still business hours in Alaska right now. So you could call right now and we'll take care of you.
Great.
All right, we had another question. Can you talk about the rear seat options? Do you have a fixed rear seat in the shop you can show us?
We do have a fixed rear seat option. I do not have one in a plane that I know of in here that I can show you. But it is a version of the front seat that's just, I believe, 2.5 inches shorter for stick clearance that is bolted to the airframe. So it's a fixed rear seat. It's not adjustable. The front is adjustable for legroom.
And we're doing a sling seat, right, in the rear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is it,
Similar
the
to
sling
this one.
seat is in this plane.
He's in the plane now. So that's the sling seat you're looking at there, which can be taken out to increase baggage capacity. Essentially, that's where the moose goes.
Or your dog.
Or your dog.
Yeah.
And Zach, could you point out some of the carbon parts?
Yeah, so some of the parts that you guys actually made is the baffling, the engine baffles. You guys cut the carbon fiber and or fiberglass for these, and then you actually injected the resin in the molds. So you made these. Our induction plenum was made in-house as well, and this is all carbon fiber. The spinner on this particular aircraft we do not make. This is provided by Hartzell, but there's carbon fiber interior. What else is carbon fiber?
Are the seats?
door?
I noticed we made a carbon fiber seat.
The seat
Can
is
you tell me
carbon
more
fiber.
about that? Like, how does that work?
So it's lighter and stronger. So it's all resin together, and there's, I think, 12 or 13 layers at the thickest point, which is the hinge of the seat where it's been flat to back. So it's extremely strong and extremely lightweight.
Wow.
And Super Cubs, a lot of the people pull on that back seat and it's metal and it breaks.
And then upper and lower cowling?
Upper and lower cowl, which
Okay.
is not on this plane, it's sitting over there, is also carbon fiber. Very, very light, yet very strong.
Yeah, let's walk over, take a look at it real fast. So this is pretty cool, guys. We took not this exact cowl, obviously, but we pulled it out this morning and popped it out of the mold. And just for a second here, he's holding it with his fingertips basically. So it's
It weighs
extremely
about 5 pounds.
Yep. Exceptionally light. Okay, so we're just going to give a few more minutes here for you guys. If you have other questions, you want to pop them up, talk to us about them, we can answer those for you. So we'll just do a walk around here, and if a question comes up, throw it at us. So yeah, camera folks, just take some nice shots up close.
Do you make your own landing gear?
We do make the landing gear. You guys actually cut that and you actually put it in the jig.
Will it fit standard floats?
Standard floats as in straight through.
2000s?
Yeah, so this will actually get Claymore 2100s, I believe. And the Carbon Cub SS EX2 FX-2 gets Aeroset 1500s. And then our Part 23 aircraft gets Whipline.
All right, we got another question. Are you guys going to use a pod? Can they put a fuel line in it for a fuel pod, even if the customer isn't getting one put on right away?
Yes, you can put one on later. The fuel pump's actually in the pod. We use Blue Arrow out of Idaho. It gives you about another 35 gallons of fuel. So you can carry basically 70 plus gallons of fuel if you want.
Is the wing tank plumbed for that already, or does it have to be done after the fact?
It has to be done after the fact. And it pumps up only into the left wing, but with it on both, it'll cross feed over. There's also a cargo pod too, if you just want cargo instead of fuel.
So there was another question, will it come with floats? No.
It won't come with floats, but floats are an option. That can be put on after the fact.
So just to clarify, it has a float kit, so it's prepared to,
Correct.
but it doesn't come with the floats themselves.
Correct.
The kit's installed.
Yep.
Right.
So the Raffle Cub will have the float attachment fittings welded onto the airframe?
All of our planes do. But your plane definitely will have that for sure. It can go on floats, skis, or gear. Traditional 31s or whatever size tire you want to run.
Okay, guys, any last minute questions?
How long does it take to produce one from start to finish for a buyer?
So from your guys' first week here, you'll return back in about 3.5 or 4 months, and you'll have a plane that looks like this. It'll be complete, but then it has to go through our post-production status. It hasn't flown, paint touch-ups, get all the squawks worked out. Any customization that we couldn't do down the production line, that's going to just hold up the planes behind it, will be done over here. It goes through a rigorous inspection. I think there's about 200 different items they look at before it even flies.
Do you guys put ski mounting hardware for the skis on at the factory?
They're not, we do at the factory. They will not be on your plane to begin with, but we can put them on after the fact.
Okay.
It's not a very hard retrofit.
And then this one might be for Abby. Do you have a set number of tickets sold?
Yes, 14,000 tickets will be sold, and we do typically sell out. So don't wait till the last minute. And that's a great segue, I think, to kind of to wrap up and remind everybody, you can buy tickets by calling 907-245-1251. If you want a plane like this sitting in your front yard, that's where mine would go, then you can purchase one for $65, 5 for $300, or 10 for $550. And again, I just want to thank everybody for participating, the teachers and the NextGen build team, and Zach and all of you of CubCrafters. This has been such an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to the next few days. You guys keep watching on Facebook and Instagram to see more of the build process. And then we'll have some more videos later showing more detail of this process. It's been really great, and I encourage you all to stop by Yakima and take a tour if you're able. It's a pretty amazing facility here. So that's all I have, and thanks everybody, and
Thank you.
we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much, folks. Have a good night.